Good evening friends. Today I am going to talk about Linux operating system. What do you mean by an operating system? An operating system is nothing but an interface between a user and computer hardware. So it's like a mediator between a computer and the user hardware. User hardware is nothing but us, and the computer hardware is nothing but the keyboard and the CPU which he uses. So when the user want to communicate with the computer hardware, there needs a language or there needs a software process, and it's nothing but operating system. Today we are going to see about different types of operating system. Particularly we are going to see about Linux operating system. Do you know what is meant Linux operating system? You know what is meant GUI and CUI? Now what is meant GUI? GUI is graphical user interface. The mouse which we use is said to be GUI. The command user interface is called CUI. So the Linux operating system is commonly an CUI, command user interface. The Linux was first found in the year of 1991 by Linus Benedict Torvald. The first version of Linux was 0.01 version, and later as the years develop, the version also increases, and there are different versions of Linux like Red Hat, Fedora, SUSE Linux. The most of the commonly used Linux operating system among the students are Fedora Linux and Red Hat Linux, because it have become less user friendly. But it can't be said the Linux is user friendly, but it is open source software. Everyone can open and download the software and can improve the software. At the first of Linux development, it was developed only of 1% by Linus Benedict Torvald, but later as the years developed, it was developed as improvement of the games, improvement of Mozilla Firefox in the Linux, improvement of calculator, improvement of all such things which are present in Windows. But the different thing between the Windows and the Linux is, in Windows there is no option of saving a file, but in case of Linux there can be a security of file. Once a file is created in the Linux, it is secured. Only the user can view the Linux by use of commands only. There are different types of commands used in the Linux, namely pwd, which is nothing but means a present working directory, and you have for creating a directory mkdir, for renaming the directory we have rmdir, for removing directory we have rmdir, and for opening a file you have to give a command called vim file name. But in case of Linux, in case of Windows, there is no such reasons of giving commands. Just using a graphical user interface like mouse, we can open a file, we can type a file, and we can save a file. But in case of Linux, it is not totally impossible. So therefore, to open a file, you have to give the command like vim file name like a.text. Then we have to open a file. For saving the purpose, we have to give control plus shift plus wq. So it's an inconvenient way that all the users can't save the file in Linux. Then for opening a file, we have to use another command like cat, the file name like a.text. For saving a file, for using a file, for commanding a file, for editing a file, there are many commands. So therefore Linux is said to be a graphical command user interface. The Linux have been developed so far, and to be more specific, all the governments of India is mainly using of Linux commands only, because it is of more security. Though it is an FOSS, but Linux is said to be a more security one, and it is said to be that Fedora Linux is the most peculiar one which is used in government of India. So we can see the later videos.